What's going on, y'all? My name is Dennis Smith. This is the Alternate Timeline. Welcome back, and today I have a video for you guys. Top 5 most anticipated video games, PS5 edition. This is just my top 5. That goes without saying. This list is subjective, right? It's just my opinion, but decided to make a video for you guys to show it off. Before we get into it, super smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. All the socials are in the description below, along with that Discord. Definitely think about joining in. Now, let's get to this list. While making this list, I realized most of these games are without a release date, or perhaps still in development, or only just have like a trailer reveal or a gameplay reveal. That wasn't intentional, that just happened to be the case, but these are 5 games that are heavy on the brain. I can't get them out of my head. I simply can't wait, and they all feel very unique and different. I just haven't seen anything quite like them. So what's also exciting is that all 5 games offer a different vibe from each other as well. So before jumping into my top 5, I do have 2 honorable mentions and an obvious mention. So let's get into it. So honorable mention number 1, EA Sports College Football 25. A little over a month away, is amongst one of the childhood favorites, man. NCAA Football 25 will be one of the biggest comebacks in gaming, I believe. As we all know, the production of this franchise came to a stop after NCAA Football 14 because of legal troubles surrounding player likenesses. Since things have been sorted out, college football looks to return to its glory days as one of the biggest sports video game franchises. Just a side note here, small fun fact, I did play football at the University of Kentucky for 2 years during that time as well, so I did happen to get a small chunk of change from that lawsuit as well. That's honorable mention number 1. Honorable mention number 2, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. Coming in 2025, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra easily has a chance to move into this top 5 when more information comes out. Heavily focused on the story, narrative-driven game with a main focus on Black Panther and Captain America. We did get a recent first look at the game's cinematics, showing us that World War II setting, also confirming Paris as a location. 4 playable characters that include Azuri Black Panther, Steve Rogers Captain America, Gabriel Jones as a US soldier who's also a member of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, who's a Wakandan spy. As of right now, from that story trailer, the graphics were the big standout. The game will be powered by that Unreal Engine 5 and will also include the MetaHuman animator. More on the MetaHuman animator in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. And then on to my obvious mention. Obvious mention here for me is Grand Theft Auto 6. It seemed like the very obvious choice for one of the most anticipated games, so much so that I made an executive decision to not include it in the top 5 for that reason alone. When that reveal trailer dropped, it was absolutely crazy. It was like hype took on a physical form and gave you a hug. And you could just feel the buzz from that trailer. It feels like everybody and their mama is excited for GTA 6. They return to Vice City. Rockstar Games is eyeing that fall 2025 release. The trailer looked incredible. What more do I have to say? I really don't care how long it takes them to make this game. As long as it's perfection, whenever it drops, I'm good to go. Now, I'm excited to share the top 5 most anticipated games for me. Number 5, Phantom Blade Zero. Revealed during the PlayStation Showcase back in 2023, Phantom Blade Zero stole the show. A dark aesthetic with a crazy combat gameplay style. The trailer showed off some wildly impressive action sequences. For me, I just have never seen such responsive close range fighting between characters engaged in combat before in a video game. I've never seen it before. The action just looks wild. It's hard to explain. It just looks super unique. It's super different. I just have never seen action sequences like that ever, where swords are just clanking, weapons are clanking, like nothing looks stagnant. Both characters are engaged in combat. Like in most games, when you block, it's like a stagnant position where you're just trying to hold your ground. But in this game, it looks like you're swinging to block almost. Like I'm striking and it can be blocked with another strike from the other character, but then some strikes can get through and hit, but then other strikes can get blocked again. Like it just looks really crazy. If you don't believe me, just Watch this. And look, it was a reveal trailer, very cinematic. I know there was skepticism when it first came out. And people believe what was shown in that trailer was just a really well scripted thing, and that the actual gameplay doesn't really offer that unique combat experience. But in the recent Summer Game Fest, S-Game, who are the developers of this, showed up with a gameplay trailer, and it was great. In Phantom Blade Zero, we play as Soul, an elite assassin who comes close to death. After mysteriously being brought back to health, a curse gives him 66 days to complete his revenge story. We're looking for Phantom Blade Zero to be semi-open world, inspired by Chinese martial arts, paired with that smooth hyperspeed combo action. This is a day one must-have, must-grab. SHNEEDS IT. And at the time, there is no release date, there's no online demo yet, so stay tuned for more. The founder of S-Game did join IGN Live after the Summer Game Fest to give us all a hands-on experience. You can watch them answer questions and play the demo down in the description below. That link will be there, so definitely tap in. Moving on to number 4, Marvel's Wolverine. So we all remember when the source codes leaked for this game and it got into the wrong hands and people were creating versions of what the Wolverine character would be like or could be like. Marvel's Wolverine still makes this list as one of the most anticipated games currently in development after giving us a successful Spider-Man trilogy of their own. Insomniac Games has turned their attention and focus to Marvel's Wolverine. If you're familiar with their work, not that hard to get excited about the potential of a Wolverine game. Not too many details about the game yet, but when that rollout happens, best believe the hype will follow. I also think the timing of the game will be interesting, with the MCU also dabbling in a little bit of mutant activity as well, so keep an eye out on that. The reveal trailer shows us our guy Logan in a bar. A fight just seemed to happen, and people seem to believe that the bar in the trailer is the Princess Bar on the island of Madripoor. Marvel Wolverine's setting is still unknown, but it is fun to imagine being able to explore places like Madripoor and perhaps go other places like the X-Mansion and more. The head of franchise strategy at Insomniac Games, Ryan Schneider, stated being able to build a new original universe with Spider-Man and now Wolverine is such an honor for so many of us at Insomniac Games. Now this could be interpreted in two ways. It could be interpreted that they're building a separate universe for Wolverine, or it could mean that they've already built this universe that has Spider-Man and now Wolverine in it. So who knows if it's going to be part of the same universe, but either way, we should expect great things from this game. And you know what they say, with great power comes great responsibility. With great developers comes great games. But if we're being honest, it is more fun to think of all the web slinging badassery that we've done with both of the Spider-Men are part of the same universe as Marvel's Wolverine.
Let's go, bub.
Moving on to number 3 on this list, and could end up being potentially the best game on this list, first announced in 2019, Crimson Desert. It has seen a number of delays, but the developers feel that they could make it even deeper and even more enriching. Gamescom 2023 Pearl Abyss, who are the developers of this game, made an appearance showcasing the gameplay trailer. An upcoming open world action adventure game with a medieval setting. Welcome to the realm of Pywell. Pywell will have different settings and regions. The king has fallen ill and the people of Pywell look to rise to power, bringing about total chaos. So you must fight to survive and become a well-known mercenary throughout the land, taking out others hungry for power. There also seems to be a secondary focus in this game that could make its way to being the main focus. From the Crimson Desert website, it says, but you better be ready soon, for not all what meets the eye in the world of Crimson Desert. Alongside the heralding of a new age of warfare, tales are also spoken of beings from a distant world, perhaps even a world that exists in a time yet to be. The trailer shows off magical elements with portals, hidden doors, and other worldly platforms, so I'd say prepare yourself to explore more than just that medieval setting when it comes time to play this game, which is a day one must-have. SHNEEDS. Gameplay and combat look really impressive with a variety of different animations. Fighting seems to be extremely versatile, or versatile, however you want to say that word. as the player adapts to the numerous positions that he's in, which is really impressive. As great as the combat looks, nature and exploration will also be a key element to this game. Looks like we won't just be fighting humans. Crimson Desert will have a vast amount of different enemy types, such as dragons, giant sea snakes, other giant beasts and creatures, and it's going to be crazy. Crimson Desert does look like a crazy mix of games that we do know today. It's been drawing comparisons to The Witcher for like the medieval style fantasy world. Assassin's Creed is an easy one to see with some of the combat, the other realms, and the climbing. Others have spotted Dragon's Dogma, Ghost of Tsushima, Skyrim, but the floating islands and falling from that far up have people even comparing it to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Crimson Desert is definitely an ambitious game. It could fall flat on its face, but there's no denying it has the makings of a masterpiece. Also, a side note, I know everybody loves the whole petting of the dogs and snuggling with the cats and all the animal interactions. Yes, it will be a part of the game, so you are welcome. Moving on to number 2, Project Mugen. I think that's how you pronounce it, Project Mugen or Mugen. This one's being developed by Naked Rain Studios and published by NetEase Games. They're developing a anime style urban open world RPG, also revealed at Gamescom 2023. It will be an ambitious open world free-to-play game. There are some in the community that believe Project Mugen can become the next Genshin Impact, brand new urban city with people comparing it to the likes of Spider-Man, Persona, and GTA. It has fast-paced parkour movements and exploring, which includes the option to drive around in vehicles, swing around like Spider-Man, scale tall skyscrapers, and other ways of traversing the city. We'll be getting to know these detective-like characters called Espers. They deal with unraveling the supernatural mysteries that are happening in the city. There will be a handful of playable characters with unique abilities. We can look forward to a large interactive city map in which a lot of your surroundings can be useful. The team stated that you can interact with almost any object that you can see. Going inside certain buildings, playing mini games / arcade games, taking pictures, and other slice of life details will also be a part of the game as well. They're putting a lot of effort into their vibrant art style, calling Project Mugen a visual journey. Much like Genshin Impact and other recent free-to-play games, there will be a big emphasis on the post-launch content. In a recent interview with Xputer, the developers shared that they plan to release at least one city per year. The story is expected to be expanded upon with each major update, which includes maps and new characters. A new city every year is pretty interesting. I don't know if it's going to be a totally new environment or they're just expanding the map to more cities that you can go to. All in all, that seems pretty cool for post-launch content. I'm just really excited for everything that you could potentially do in this game. it looks really fun. The characters look really lovable and it looks like a blast, honestly. This is also a day one must-have for me. SHNEEDS IT. Now, my number one anticipated game, it's a silly one, don't laugh at me. You're gonna be like, what in the world is this? But DokeV. DokeV, man, like, it is hard trying to describe seeing that trailer for the first time. It's impossible. As soon as it started playing, I immediately was like, what the am I watching? I immediately sent it to my brother and we're just like, what is going on in this trailer? What in the world? I don't know, but I need it. SHNEEDS IT. It just looked like a game I've never seen before in my life. It may look silly with a bright and vibrant town full of cute characters, but it looks like it has potential to be really special. Drawing some comparisons to Pokemon as a cute monster collecting game made from the same team that's creating Crimson Desert, Pearl Abyss. Pearl Abyss has given their full attention to Crimson Desert before diving back into DokeV, but we cannot wait to get our hands on this unique looking game. I mean, just look at what's going on in this trailer. This just looks like a giant playground full of joy, chaos, and cuteness. An open world action adventure, Pearl Abyss wants DokeV to have an eye-popping environment with a splash of reality and Korean culture. The game will feature monsters known as DokeV, and collecting them is a huge part of the gameplay and the story. Different kinds of creatures will pop up in the world of DokeV. The lead producer, Sang-Young Kim, stated that they are spirit-like entities that appear in traditional Korean folktales and gain powers from people's dreams. They inspire courage and sometimes unintentionally cause trouble, but they are fun friends to have. That sounds awesome to me. In the game, we'll meet many different NPCs who all have their own stories that we'll get involved in, but DokeV revolves around an advanced AI-driven world where a company called The Company creates robots using AI. Your characters and friends will see the company as the antagonist for catching DokeV creatures to fuel their AI. It seems even though it's a monster collecting game, you're actually freeing them from a dangerous corporation with bad intentions. The game is intended to have multiplayer elements, which makes a lot of sense judging from the trailer. If you're going to make this beautifully massive playground with these kid characters doing the coolest things ever, playing with the homies is a must in this game. This game to me just stands out from the rest of them just with how different and unique it looks. From the gorgeous setting to the adorable characters, the story, the gameplay, the traversing, and the interesting transport mechanics make DokeV a day one must have. SHNEEDS IT. I mean, if you just look at how popular Palworld became, there is a demand for creative monster/creature collecting games. I'm not saying DokeV is coming for Pokemon Spot at all, or even if they would want to, but there is room for that style of game. Hopefully Pearl Abyss will put everything they have into making this game special, like how I think it can be. So that's my number one most anticipated game. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Like I said before, they're all subjective, and a lot of times the list changes depending on what mood I'm in, so this is just the mood I'm in today. Of course, there are tons more games coming out, but the games on this list feel somewhat unique to me and have a great blend of qualities from some of the best games that are already established. If you're looking for more info on these games, I did write an article about them, so go ahead and check that out in the description below. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dennis Smith of The Alternate Timeline. Super smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
It's not enough. You got me guarded up. I don't need somebody. Enough.